There we go. Alright. This should be it. And it's going to be actually getting to perfection is going to be pretty short. But, of course, not going to end stream right then and there. I'll keep it going. Even day, fruit day. One day. Nothing fun today. Oh, and also apparently it's a festival. Right, probably just the fishing one, but I can't do anyways. And I put finale in quotations, well, with a question mark, because I don't know if my garbage PC is gonna be like, hey, you know what would be really funny right now? Crashing to an unrecoverable state. Murphy's Law and all that. Yep, Crystal Vice. Sounds nice. Can't participate. Thank you, cat. Right. Still have to do the right hand. Fish. You know, if today's a honey day, technically I could have finished last time. But as we're going to be end of this series. Let's reflect on it a bit. There were parts of this that were, I don't want to say fun, but definitely interesting. And I wouldn't say it was hard, it was just tedious, so I would not recommend doing this. That being said, I do kind of like specking into animals over crops, even if even if crops cannot compete in the slightest with, sorry, other way around, even if animals cannot compete with crops when it comes to just raw productivity. There's a reason most people just have one deluxe goop and one deluxe farm at endgame, because everything else is super. It's just too much. No. Well, that doesn't mean we're seeing that. It was a little bittersweet getting done with such a long-term project. Am I gonna miss it? Not at all. Like, crab traps, sorry, crab pots, whatever you want to call them, not worth it. And specking into those perks, just not fucking worth it. Mining outside of, not being able to go into the mines has sucked for both combat and mining, especially not being able to get the burglar ring. Foraging, you can kind of work around. It's annoying for sure. Fishing, crab pots don't bother with them to this degree. I think the hardest part, well, combat outside of the mines wasn't bad, except for the very beginning, before you get an actual weapon, because most weapons are locked behind going into the mines to any respectable degree. Now, okay, so you save 4 apples. The rest goes into right. Plus 4 apples, yep. So stacked up nice for me. Drop the rest. Not quite. And I still need to go to the island, that's right. Hey look, package. Yep. A honey day. I know this won't on its own be enough to get me enough money to end, but it's gonna get damn close. I will say though, the bees have been a remarkably good, remarkably decent source of money. Like, I might do this on a smaller scale in the future. Just fill up parts of the island with fairy rose honey. Obviously not to where I'm getting, 500 plus a day, well, a cycle, but, set up a couple of these just to supplement the real moneymaker being wine. And this all kind of goes back to the reason I did this in the first place is wine is like the way to make money late game. Nothing else compares, and it's sad that that's the case. I wish other sources of revenue had viability. But they don't. I would not recommend doing this challenge. Any sort of novelty it had at any point kind of wore off pretty quick and was replaced just by the tedium of it. I am surprised by how much you are able to do without without playing the game properly. Or not properly, doing the viable route on it, all the skills. I think one of our mangoes just turned silver. That being said, don't be afraid to, experiment with different methods in games like this. I would say, like, in order to make animals stand up against artisan, things would have to be reconfigured, and I think best way to do that would be starting with the level 10 perks. So, farming ones, when you go down through the animals, is just they get friendship faster, and then the coop incubator runs faster, and in the barn, sheep produce wool faster. Those are not great. Like, in order to compete with the 40% from artisan, I think it would have to be like all animals produce faster, and or animal goods and their derivatives are worth more. Like, sure, you get a tiny boost from Rancher, I think it's, yeah, all animal products are worth 20% more. That gets overshadowed by the 40% from Artisan so fast. And especially when you consider that animals have to eat, whereas the most you have to do with crops is water them, and on all farms except for the island farm, the beach farm, you can just set up sprinklers that require no maintenance and it will just water them the entire time. Whereas animals, you have to give them space to graze, or you have to give them hay. So they have higher maintenance and lower production, so it's just not a fair comparison, despite the game kind of being set up to compare them to each other. Or even make the level 10 farming perk if you go through animals, being that animals no longer have to eat. I mean, not even having to put bait in the crab traps does not save them. Does not save it from make it better than. Not make it better than. Nice. Does not make the crab trap line better than just straight fishing. Almost forgot to put those up. Basic cheese? That was gold star cheese. What are you talking about? I mean, it's pretty impressive that despite the stupid restrictions I placed on myself, I was still able to get to like half percent. Granted, a fair bit of that did come from using the traveling merchant to supplement being able to not being able to buy anything. I mean, not be able to fish, so I can actually cook. But So, got was able to get most of the crafting recipes, and was able to make most of them. Like, the only crafting recipe I have that I'm not able to do is the, not bait maker, fish smoker, which was just added, well, with the 1.6 update, and I tried getting it. I realize now it's actually impossible under these rules, but what can you do besides play like a normal person? Well, let's grab the rest of that row that's ready to roll. Snail row. Gross. Alright, let's see if that was enough. I don't think it will be. I think it'll be close. It'll be like 300,000. Yep. 368. Not quite the half million we needed. So not quite enough to end it. But we will end it. Just need another 100,000. And I think we can get that much before next honey day. Especially if I were to cook all the sashimi I've got. I don't know if I've said this before, but I wish the perfection tracker, like once you've actually talked to the board in Mr. Key's Goon Cave, that you could actually check it from somewhere in your menu. My hidden course will be able to get 100,000 for the next honey day. Be able to get the 100,000 before the next mushroom day. Heck, I got lucky enough, maybe even do 100,000 tonight. Probably not, but hey, guy can dream. Lucky or desperate enough, that is. Red mushrooms, that's crazy. machine is behind, so we're gonna do that. Right. Why didn't I put the animal products into process? Oh, I know, because I am dumb. That's the entire premise of this challenge, right? What did I say? My favorite thing was for the start out blue. Move, please. Thank you. It's gonna be very nice to be done with this. Not have to deal with processing a mountain of trash. And even, that's another thing is, crab pots aren't really bound to compete with regular fishing either. Like, your capstone abilities for doing crab pots are, you no longer have to bait the trap, or you can't get garbage in a trap. Honestly, both of those should be in one thing. Like, maybe, because the crab pot fish are so fucking worthless, maybe make it like, your options are never have to bait or bait a trap again and always get and remove the chance for trash, or the other one is like triple value for crab pot fish. Combat and mining, I don't think the capstone abilities for either are really too far from one another, and it's really comes down to your preference, your play style. Like, sure, I could have been, when I was selling bars, I could have opted into blacksmith to be able to get more money out of them, but it didn't really matter. So there's times where that's better than doing gems, and there's times where gems is better than doing that. let's do a little thought experiment on just my sheep. So I spec'd into shepherd, and as you can see, most of my sheep got gold graham cracker, gold animal crackers, so they produce double wool. I have here 5, 10, 14. I think I count that right. Yeah, 14 sheep. Let's pretend I have animal crackers on all of them. So that means I get 28 wool, 28 wool per day. Okay. Now let's pretend that each and every time they were consistently giving me wool that doubled their cloth. So that's 56 cloth per day. And then let's pretend that wine is once a week. It's really 6 days and change, but so then that means we have 380 per week slash wine. So 380 cloth is 178,600. Now, if we had spec'd into artisan and we're doing, let's be real, it would be ancient fruit wine. It's super easy to do, and you can do it for most of the year, or the entire year if you actually set it up. Without aging and just having artisan, you would only need to produce 77 bottles per week to compete with all those sheep. So 77 fruit. You can fill up the greenhouse with that, with more than enough to do that. And again, that's without aging, and you typically will have much bigger setups than that. Like, look, I don't even have a good wine setup, and I already have over 300 kegs running. Animals can't compete with the capstone abilities for animals, just do not compete with artisan. I suppose you could take, if you took the coop master that would let the incubators run faster, maybe it would be faster, it would make more money to raise chickens, sell them, hatch more eggs along the way, but even that I don't think it's going to compete with artisan. I mean, hell, the other level 10 farming one that just lets you grow crops faster can't compete with artisan because it's just that good. The extra 40% on every bottle of wine, every processed thing that you make is just that good. And like I've said, crab pot fish are just worth so little that even not having to waste any time baiting them just does not make up for that when regular fishing is just so much better. Like, the most valuable thing that can come out of crab pot is a lobster at 120. That's like a medium low value fish. And remember, crab pot fish don't get quality boosters. And by speccing into crab pots, you don't get the extra money from the other side of perks. Despite being put against each other, they just can't fucking compete with each other. Just making sure that we hit our goal tonight. And then I'm not 100% sure. Oh, it's not even 6 yet. Let's go bug flint. And mining and combat are designed to gain experience from within the mine. So it doesn't make sense to do what I did. Like, sure, I eventually got up to 10s in both of them, but it was much slower and much less rewarding to do it that way. There's one other thing I want to do, just to say goodbye to the farm. Let's say goodbye to some of these weapons and stuff that I've gotten. One more ossified blade than I can actually carry. And I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it. It's dumb that you can't sell equipment through the box. It's dumb that you have to go all the way to the Adventurers Guild to do it. Dark Swords, the first one was good, being my first actual weapon, and it carried me for a good while. Then they were just taking up space, as you can see by the half-full large chest of them, and almost a full inventory's worth of just dark blades. Bone swords, ossified blades, and on a similar note, aquamarine and ruby rings. A thought occurs. Lame. I'm just gonna take it with me and just sell there. And then the trinkets. Trinkets were an interesting addition. I don't really think they've been necessary. I also think fairies probably the best one, at least for my skill level, which is low. And trying to upgrade into a level 5 fairy was a nightmare. I was like, man, wish I brought my pan with me, then I remembered it's on my dome. Nice. Part of me wishes I didn't do this as my first foray into 1.6 because it was a big update. It added a lot of cool shit. A lot of which I never saw because I shot myself in the foot. Figuratively speaking, both feet are still here, both still attached. Oops. We'll leave one ruby ring in there. And nah. The rest can stay. We're selling the ruby rings to make a point, just like we're selling the rest of these to make a point. I guess I could have put my hat back on. So what do the mastery levels? I mean, of course, you can't check from here. Because the mastery levels are one of the few things I am going to actually interact with from 1.6. I kind of wish that it continued to track the source of experience, so it didn't feel like, oh yeah, you get, yeah, I mastered fishing by farming. That doesn't sit right with me. Like, it should be, yeah, you need to have a million XP or whatever, but 200,000 or a quarter of it or something. Yeah, like a quarter of the experience you use to pay for that mastery point should have to come from the skill you're using it to master. And similarly, as an extra fuck you to animal husbandry, because traditional farming is just so good, all experience towards mastery that comes from farming is halved. Not just from growing crops, but from animals as well. Which, like I said, is just another big fuck you to raising animals. Kind of reminds me of how, well, I don't remember which generation of competitive play it was, but Darkrai got banned because Smeargle could use his set better than him. Okay, so in combat. Trinkets, they're alright. Mini Forge, that combat mastery, I'm not in love with these rewards. Like getting the trinkets and being able to. These two make sense. This, I think, should have just come from somewhere off the island. Like maybe the island trader requires some crazy amount of like iridium or cinder shards for it. Maybe even radioactive bars. Foraging. These all suck. Like honestly, I think golden mystery boxes should just be something from the start with from when regular mystery boxes start. Just have them be a consistently lower drop rate. Treasure totem, I'm sure if you're hunting for like one specific artifact that comes in handy. And while this stuff is worth a decent amount and the sap can be used for a couple of good recipes like bluegrass and I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I think they're using treasure totem. I can't really think of anything else. Maybe one of the baits or something. Not fantastic. Iridium Scythe is great. It's great at getting hay, and it's great that you can kind of more mindlessly farm that way. It was a bit annoying since I had to make sure I wasn't using it during honey gathering. Statue of Blessing. I kind of like. Golden Animal Crackers, I really like. Like this, these three are solid. Not gonna lie. Didn't go fishing, so I can't speak on it. Didn't go fishing, can't speak on it. Didn't go fishing, can't speak on it. And see, crab pots are so unviable that they get nothing through mastery. And it's sad. Statue of the Dwarf King is good. Heavy Furnace is good. Just double gems. That's good too. Mining and farming are great. Everything else kinda sucks. Like, I'm sure the fishing stuff is cool. But again, it even more just makes it so, yeah, crab pots, not a viable method. Not a viable way to play. I didn't need to sell that iron, I should have saved it. Doesn't matter, we're gonna have enough money in the morning. Even made it to bed. So yeah, that's enough money to go pay for our freedom. I mean, pay for perfection. And it's weird, the quests that are locked behind the mission. Like, well, not quests, but quest rewards, like being able to get the farm computer kind of sucked. I like the farm computer. It makes the little warning keg or preserves jar obsolete. Speaking of preserved jars, I think if I were to do something similar again, instead of doing wine, I would just do jelly. Because jelly isn't as good as wine, but it is good and will actually change the plants you want, the plants that you want to prioritize. They're plants that are better suited for making jelly than for making wine. And jelly just produces faster than wine does in the first place. If we get another update, which sounds like we will, I hope some things get rebalanced. Like, make other play styles viable when compared to just monocultures and more. There. Go meet your lover, you weirdo. I'll admit, I was pleasantly surprised with how decent slime hutches are. Kind of wish one could produce enough slime in a day to produce an egg, but at least it's only two to be able to produce that much. Part of me wants to see if how long it would take to get enough starfruit for a Junimo hut. Smart money is probably on just however many more we need, that many years, and it all coming from blue owls. But there's still a chance that the traveling merchant could not disappoint me. We do have enough to show that you can get them from other sources besides just farming them and the yearly one at the wow. So I think I've got like 6 that's still in year 4 or 5, something like that. Move, please. Another change I would like a dedicated build mode. Not like a creative mode. I mean, that would be nice, but what I mean is when you're wanting to put down furniture or lights or heck, even machines, I don't think I'd be opposed to it. Because you have to be purposefully doing it, so you don't do my favorite thing of just putting torches down the instant I pick them up. I didn't mess around with the 4 new crops at all, because, you know, I didn't mess around with any crops. Seem like they're alright, just from what I can tell reading their descriptions. On the seeds. So 3 days to grow carrots. That's pretty fucking cracked. Broccoli, 8 days and continues to harvest. Summer squash, 6 days continues to harvest. And powder melons, they grow in winter and just take a week. Those all seem pretty good, especially since you do get the seeds for free. I'm sure carrots aren't very valuable to make up for the fact that you can get 2 full harvests in a week. Heck, you can get even more done if you use speed fertilizer and or the useless level 10 perk. I mean, I think you could get for speed fertilizer and that. I think I read that you could get them down to a single day grow. So, I'm thinking, have the speed grow perk to get them to grow fast. And just every time you harvest, you put them in to make, since I'm assuming they're not to be worth very much, you use them to make pickles. So, you know, get the most out of them. And then before you go, you just stockpile that all throughout the month. Before you go to sell them, you go and respec into the what's it called? You go and respec into artisan to get 40% more off of everything. Like, I could see that being a way to counter wine, maybe. And it's disgusting and I hate it. Oil. I like how it's already getting dark in the valley because it's winter, but you come to the island and it's bright and sunny still, because it's only 5 fucking o'clock. That's another reason I don't like winter. Like, getting dark early sucks. Snow, awful. Cold weather, it bites. Oh, you can't dress with hot weather. Yeah, you can. No, I don't mean stripping down to something that barely covers you. Like, look at traditional clothing from anywhere near the equator. Shit in the Middle East. Hell, even Japan's clothing works pretty good for summer wear. If it's made right and you wear it right. Point is, you want something that's lightweight and usually light in color. That's less important. So lightweight and doesn't fit tight, so that you aren't being weighed down by it and you're not trapping hot air against yourself. You're putting an extra layer of air between you and the hotness. 53% through this dumb system. We've got enough to buy our way to perfection now. So, theoretically, we could get this close to 100, I think. Not quite to 100 because you can't get the 4 new produce through anywhere besides growing them yourself. But everything else you should be able to do. It would just be a matter of waiting on the traveling cart. Obelisks and golden clock are both possible. It's just cheaper to pay for their percentage points through what's his name? Fizz, I think. Monster Slayer Hero, you can do every single one except for one. You cannot kill the dust sprites because they only spawn in the night. Everything else can spawn elsewhere, but Shadow Men will be a pain to do since they can only spawn on the farm. Great Fens, I already did. Farmer level, already did. All star drops is impossible because you can't get fishing done. And there might be one more. Don't quite remember. Oh yeah, I can't fish and I can't do the sweet gemberry. Cooking recipes, I could get more done, not quite all of them because pineapple and taro root only can be grown by you, the player. Although I think with a Junimo hut you could do it if you stick to my bullshit ruling. Crafting recipes, this is as high as I can get. You can't get every kind of jelly for the fish smoker, and there's at least one recipe locked behind a fishing quest. Fish caught, honestly, 13% is more than I thought I'd be able to do. Golden walnuts, technically I had to pay for this. I don't remember how many I was able to do, but it was not all of them. But that. Oh right, I need to go to the bones of paper perfection. Oops. I like being able to upgrade the pan. It's a nice little touch. 500 bucks for a perfection wafer. Yeah. Perfection wafer number 1. This is gonna take a minute. I thought you could buy them all at once. But yeah, this was an interesting challenge at times. There were times where I thought I had brilliant ideas that would save time and money. And there were other times that were just slogs. Granted, not all my ideas panned out. Like, the mead idea would technically have panned out. Buy a bunch of honey from the oasis, turn it to mead, sell it. Like, that'd be even better with artisan, because everything's fucking better with artisan. I can't even talk to him anymore, because I'm now perfect. Part of me wants to watch Blade's maximum perfection run, but at the same time, I want to see it actually condensed down into something digestible. Since what he did is he got to into here with as low percent completion as possible, and then bought so that he could buy as many waivers as possible, and then actually went back, and after he bought all the waivers, still got perfection the normal way. If I were to do that, it would take ages. But yeah, this has been, like I said, this has been an interesting challenge. I don't recommend it. I recommend trying out something you haven't before, whether it's in this game or a different one. Just try a different way of playing. Who knows, maybe you'll find something you like. Oh, forgot to put silver bananas in. mean, obviously for maximum completion, like being able to buy the most perfection wafers and then still get perfection, you're probably gonna do Joja, not the community center. Which, yeah, this was my first time doing the Joja, whatever it's called. It'll probably be my last time doing the Joja, whatever it's called. But just imagine you do that to be able to get to the island. You get the risk-free um walnuts that aren't gonna accidentally um jack up your completion. And I think, like, I don't know the game as nearly as well as Blake does. I will be the first person to admit that. The man might know the game better than the fucking creator of it. But I imagine so that you don't level up, you'd stick to things like trash or weeds and shit like that doesn't generate experience, but can still technically generate money. Like maybe you do things like do a couple of completion things in the community center to get like crab pots or the keg so that you can actually do something like the mead method, but I don't know. You feel somewhere, somehow. Grandpa's beaming with pride. He shouldn't be. Like, see, it's eternal. Stupid butterflies here. Rumbling sound was heard in the distance. And the parrots go by, because they're proud of me. They shouldn't be, but they are. Let's waste something I never use. I've never used one of those before. Let's find this stupid butterfly. And we're gonna go to the summit. I like that another 1.6 change that I like is that they added in the cutscene of Mr. P killing you if you glitch your way up to there without perfection. I'll be honest, I'm kind of glad the mead method did not pan out. While it eventually it would make money, no doubt about it. The math checks out, the math is mathing. It would be so unfun. It'd be so boring. Just buy a shit ton of honey and then spend weeks turning it into mead. The addition of books has been nice. I wish I could have gotten them all through this, but no. I'm missing two. One of which is actually really good for my build. It can only be gotten from Squidfest, sorry. but it makes it so that it's like the one piece of love that Crab Pots got um, during the update. I think. I think it's like Crab Pots now can have a chance to double. Power books. Let's see here. Fell trees have a 5% chance to double wood, is the one we're missing. And then the art of crabbing. Crab pots have a 25% chance to yield double. Like that one would have been good. And supposedly you're supposed to be able to buy them both starting in year 3. But I think that's only if you've already actually earned them the original way. We'll go that way last. We'll keep going over here. Looking for the stupid butterfly. I did like using the quarry felt nice. Like even when I switched over to just doing it when I had extra ore active, having a semi-consistent source of stone and ore is nice. I might actually consider using that instead of just filling the quarry with more kegs or other machines. Having access to auto petters was nice. Like, that's just a nice quality of life thing. And I'm glad that you can technically get them when you don't side with Joja, even if it's a lot harder to get them. I think no, speed buff is not yet off. It's about to though. I wonder how much longer this would have taken if I had not given myself the opportunity to cheat on my rules before mastery started, and as a skill got to level 10, I could do something that would normally break that rule, like getting into the secret woods and chopping the non-responding hardwood. How much longer would the run have been if I had not done that? I forgot he exists. So that would have delayed getting onto the island by a substantial margin, because we wouldn't have the hardwood necessary to fix Willie's boat, which again I'm still pissed he fucking charges you for. Like, sure, Pam doesn't know that doesn't know that you get the bus fixed up. So yeah, she's got to pay for it. And we're also the only one that goes into the desert outside of the newly desert festival, which I do like. I don't like that it's in the middle of salmonberry season. I think that was a bit of an oversight. But I do like the desert festival. But Willie specifically asks us to fix his boat, and is aware that we are the one fixing his boat, and is still he charges us to use this boat when just about any sunny day on the island, a handful of villagers are also going to be going into the island. Even if he's not using his boat for tickets, he can now do deep sea fishing once more. Or other stuff, I don't know what it's like. But, yeah. Didn't find that stupid fucking butterfly. Thanks for coming by. This has been a ride. Glad to be done with it, but it was nice challenging myself with something like this. I'm gonna be taking a while away from perfection. Taking a while away from Stardew Valley. I do like this game, and I don't plan on abandoning it forever. Maybe if the update comes, I'll come back sooner than I plan. But it'll be some time before I come back either way. Hey, Doc. Great view, huh? Just thinking about the last 5 years. We've been through a lot together, haven't we? Yeah, sure has. Look how far we've come, despite these stupid rules. Standing here, looking out on the horizon, I get a feeling of endless possibility. Just happy I get to explore this world with you by my side. That's sweet. You barely leave the house. Probus and Crow. Probus on the Crow bus. And Dwarf in the Koopa car. Wizard not being completely useless. Witching it up. Fairy's going to kick someone that isn't me. And it looks like Swamp Gas to me. Look at them go. They never move this fast. Especially you. You never even leave your kennel. You don't want. You don't want. You don't want very much. I always forget you exist. Chicken. I don't think I even got a blue chicken. Gold chicken. Hey, there's my pets. No brown cow. No brown. I always like that little oversight that they forgot to put brown cows in here. But remember, all 3 kinds of chickens and all the other animals. Fish. It would have been hilarious if it just shows the ones that I would actually caught. Because it would be empty. Yeah, Kobe, that they got in this. You can only fish them in the waterfall, but of course. Never even saw those. Hold on. I think that's supposed to be Iridium Golem. Those only show up on the those are just glass pieces. I got over half perfection, so I don't feel too bad. It's been a long road. You challenged yourself, reached the summit. In more ways than one. What an accomplishment. You've been watching every step of the way and been so confused. You've made us very proud. He's flipping us off. Like, I know it's supposed to be 2 thumbs up, but it does look like he's just giving you the double deuce. Man, Magic Rock Candy kind of sucks, doesn't it? It does not last long. I have no idea where the stupid butterfly is going to be. Secret Woods, maybe? Yeah. I've enjoyed the update, what little bit of new content I actually had access to. And I do like this game. I like it a lot. I was never huge on farming sims or farming games in general. This one does hold a special spot in my inky black heart. I hope if an update does get made that the train station gets used. It feels so unused. It's used in like 2 cutscenes. Heck, it might even only be 1 cutscene. And then you can sometimes steal stuff off the side of it. And it's not even every time that it comes by that you can steal stuff off of them. Okay. Now, we have 6 starfruit. So it'll take at maximum 4 years to get enough starfruit to be able to build a Junimo hut. I'm just kidding. I'm done. I could come back, and who knows, maybe on my own I'll actually see what 1.6 has to actually offer. But either way, thanks for coming by. Squidfest has begun. Thanks for coming by. This was a awful, awful challenge. I do not recommend it. I'm glad to be done with it, even if I have fun at times. So, what's next? Well, I think the last time I looked at the poll I put out, it was for the roguelikes. So that might end up being it. I'll take another look before I stream next. Which, getting to, will be probably Friday. I have family coming into town starting tomorrow, but they're only going to be here the next 2 days. Because, you know, it's Christmas. Speaking of, spend some time with your families. If you live away from home, at the very least, call your folks. Call your grandparents if you still got them. You've got less time with your family than you think you do. And yeah. So, thanks for coming by. It's been a hell of a ride. Take it easy, and Merry Christmas. Goodbye.